What is going on, everyone? Jumbo Thick here with more Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. This is our Rise of the Forsaken campaign. This is, of course, Warhammer Fantasy 4th Edition. I, of course, am Jumbo Thick, your DM, your GM for the night, and I am joined by the full cast and crew of the Unfortunate Fellowship, Mr. Doobie209, Mr. Jumbo Smooth, and Mr. Pierce Galactic. If you would like to quickly introduce your characters, I would like to jump right in, because we have a lot to do.
What's going on, everybody? Pierce Galactic is going to jump ahead in line here. I will be once again playing your favorite character, the great, the mighty, the handsome Bragandine Bonneau. Defeater of all challengers. Perhaps, oh, he did let the Green Knight win. He knew it was more noble to allow the Green Knight to win. But aside from that, never lost a combat, never lost a battle, never lost an ear or an eye.
It's true. It's very true, though. Bragandine and his bold men have never suffered a defeat. Speaking of bold men, how about Mr. Jumbo Smooth?
Hello, everyone. I am Jumbo Smooth. I'll be playing the role of Marius Wolf this evening. It turns out I am a true son of Ulrich. Mindheim, apparently. Exciting revelations, Just excited to see what kind of tunnel we're going into. So,
speaking of excited to see what kind of tunnel they're going into, Doobie209.
What's going on, everybody? Doobie209 here, and I play Seamus McGreedy, and I can't really, you can't top Bragandine's intro, it's just so great, so let's just get into it.
Let's just get into it.
Completely true.
It's all true. It's all true. Every ounce of it. Every dripping drop. I will save my more sensual analogies for the game. Last we left off, to do a brief recap, the Fellowship has found themselves back in Sealburg. You had crushed and defeated, almost in its entirety, the Skaven Undercity, inhabited by Clan Fleabiter beneath Sealburg, destroyed it. After its fall, you had went looking for the Witch Hunter, Cole, and his Chaos Dwarf contingent. You found that the way in the Chamber of the Old Ones was devoid of life and incapable of being activated again without the aid of the book that was taken from you. Seeking guidance shortly afterwards, you went to see Mother Inga, only to find that she had been violently murdered and her hut destroyed, desecrated, and everything about her person just in upheaval, as Mr. Catch, and who knows else, had assaulted and slain the wizened old woman. After defeating Catch and some mutated creatures, you were each gifted one last task, one last attempt at attaining some kind of wisdom from Mother Inga. The three of you each took on these tasks individually, with Bragandine Bonneau being sent out deep into the forest to uncover a shrine to the Lady of the Lake. Confronted by the Lady's champion, the Green Knight, though you did not defeat him, you fought valiantly, carving a bloody rend, well, it would have been bloody if he bled, into his armor, and showing him the worth of a true Bretonnian. You were given, or so much as allowed, to take a reliquary from this shrine upon your awakening, and traveled back to Sealburg. That reliquary was infused with holy vigor from the lady herself, and I'm sure we will see soon what takes place when activated. Likewise, Seamus McCready, seeking more understanding and knowledge of his last task, he sought out Lady Montague of the Silk Canary, whom had earlier been revealed to be a creature of the night, a vampire. Upon striking a deal with Lady Montague, you were gifted with a poultice, the final ingredient being the breath of a dead man. In this case, her own, since she is no longer of the living. You entered into a contract, literally, maybe binding. We'll see how that holds up. But regardless, you were tasked with ridding her of who she called the Whisperer. We have no idea who that is or what that is, but I'm sure we will find out. Maybe soon, maybe not. Likewise, Marius Wolf was sent to gather herbs, all of which just happened to be at Mother Inga's hovel. Upon partaking in this psychedelic journey, was shown a glimpse into his past, revealing his birthright under portent stars and from a ever-important city in Middenheim. A true son of Ulrich, as he was assaulted by degenerate skin wolves of Korn, set to slay him before he realized his true abilities. Awakening the wolf inside, he transformed and easily dispatched these lesser wolves. And the three of you finally met because, as I cannot pronounce the name, a frightful holiday was taking place that would open up the chamber of the old ones, the tunnel that will lead you to your final destination without the book. You traveled by night, the glare of Morsleb, the Chaos Moon, bathing the countryside in green ethereal light. You entered into the mountain, found the chamber, found it active as Marius punched in the runes that lit, and the opaque, almost see-through but not door opened, well, revealed itself from the stone wall that you've traveled through so many times before. And you were standing before it. And that is where we are going to pick up. As all of you are standing within a few paces of this shimmering door, you all know what must be done. Who will take the first step?
Mayor should probably. Let's get this over with, lads.
Dragonine jumps in front of
take
me,
a
just
step
walks
in.
through.
Okay. Bragadine, I guess, apparently filled with some kind of, I don't know, excitement, perhaps. As Marius finishes his sentence and begins to step forward, Bragadine just kind of launches himself through the door. Bragadine, you feel this almost electric, tingling, cold sensation overcome your body as you pass through the door, the opaque door, and then you step into a very dimly lit and familiar long hallway. The same thing happens to you, Marius, and I'm assuming Seamus takes his final steps through.
Yep, take the gun off the shoulder and carry it, walk through.
And as you pass through, Seamus, all three of you now, inside the chamber, you see the long stretching hallway, almost never ending. The floor is cobbled, with those kind of strange extra large cobbles that you have known that graces this long hall. The lighting is from the blue almost runes that are about 30 to 40 feet up the sides of the walls, which, if you will remember, this hall is some 100 feet wide, maybe wider. It's, dimensions get strange. The fabric of reality may or may not shift at any moment, as you are all well aware. You cannot see the ceiling. It is empty. But in the dim light, you can see ahead, and it is never-ending tunnel. What would you like to do?
I guess first off, do we, besides your initial description, do we hear anything as far as or see a difference between this and the other tunnel?
Go ahead and give me perception tests, everyone.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled a 1.
Oh shit! Nice.
Good. Get it out of the way now.
I know. I need that for combat. Right now.
Marius failed. I rolled a 93.
Okay. Ooh. All right. And Seamus?
35 out of 56.
Okay. I will say this. For Marius, you kind of glance in, and your foot kind of, as you plant your foot on the other side, you step in a small puddle. It appears to be water, but for a moment it shifts your attention away. So you're somewhat distracted. Seamus, you see that this tunnel, from the looks of it, it looks just like the last tunnel that you went through. Through countless other tunnels you've traveled through. Apparently this path of the old ones. It may or may not be the same tunnel. It's hard to tell. However, Bragadine, you see it's almost as if your vision is drawn down the hall, and you feel just for a moment, you feel a wave of almost nausea overtake you. You kind of, and you just get a whiff of like a noxious odor. It doesn't smell like decay. Matter of fact, the smell is extremely hard to place. But you would know, Bragadine, that this most definitely is not the same tunnel that you've traveled in the past. There is something strange afoot. And that is what you know.
My friends, can you smell that? It is almost heinous stench, but it's not like it is not like the where we fought the can't pronounce the beast that stole Seamus. I can't pronounce it. I can't remember. Yeah, it's not like the cemetery where we fought, or even the home of the Skaven. It is a very a putrid but very, very strange smell. I do not believe we have been here before. This is not like when I first found you. This is where I rescued you all that time a long, long ago. I don't know if we ended up where we were supposed to be.
Charlie has mercy. I stepped in this damn puddle.
Oh, if you oiled your boots, I'm sure it'll be fine. But if you did not, you will have to replace it. Nothing worse than soiled leather.
Let's get this the fuck over with. And grab my pick and just start marching on. I guess I'll probably light a torch.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, because the light is dim. You guys can all see, but it It is dim without some kind of illumination. As you light a torch, it reveals more as you are moving forward. More of the same. You travel for hours, monotonously, walking. Just the slow drips of water coming from the walls into unseen puddles. The scurry of small feet that probably rats, though you never see them. And vast emptiness. It is unnerving. It is not pleasant. But you've all done this before. About the third hour. Oh, go ahead.
Bugmans, Seamus.
I wish I had some of that right now.
Around the third hour, after you are, as a matter of fact, at the time that you finally finish saying that, Seamus, the three of you would spot there are a few bodies laying in the center of this tunnel.
Well, guess we'll slowly walk up and take a look.
Yeah. I'm going to go up there and kind of tap one with the flat edge of the point of his sword.
Okay.
Kind of tap it.
Your brand new rapier?
No. My regular sword.
Okay.
The sword that I can actually use.
The three of you walk up, and there are several corpses laying here. They almost don't look human due to the state that they're in. As you get close, Bragadine, since you were moving to touch one, you can see that there's still blood trickling out of the corpse, as if it is freshly bleeding. It is very much dead. It is a man. As a matter of fact, all of these corpses are men. There appears to be at least 10 corpses. You touch it. It kind of just winces a little bit. The body just barely moves. As you poke it and prod it, nothing happens. It's a dead man.
No, Seamus. Clearly they're dead, but this one is still bleeding. Are they all appear that way? Like there's still blood pouring out of them?
Why don't we go ahead and make some checks here? Let's go ahead and get some intuition checks from everybody. Seamus, you get a plus 30 to this.
All right. That is a 76 out of 86. One success.
How about Marius?
Marius rolled a 51 out of 51.
Oh, geez, barely there as well. And Bragadine, how'd you do?
I rolled a 60 out of 74.
Okay, yeah, so everybody's just barely there. You've all seen corpses. Marius, you're kind of looking them over. All of them are most certainly men. Marius, you being the lowest score, you do see that there are weapons nearby laying in pools of blood, as well as armor that these people are wearing. These look to be soldiers, if you had to take your guess. Though you don't pay attention to as much where they're from or who exactly they are, you can tell they're men. Seamus and Bragadine. Bragadine, you can tell that these are some of a piece of armor, perhaps the one you're touching. You can tell by a helmet that this looks like a man of the Empire. Judging by the kind of beard and the facial hair. And then, of course, that's what's left of this man's face, as all of the bodies have been viciously ripped through. It looks like a grindhouse horror movie has moved through this area. There are just body parts and things just strewn about. You can tell that is definitely a man of the Empire, for sure. Seamus, however, judging by the color of the garb, and specifically by the face of the man standing, laying next to you, kind of on its side with his mouth open, his tongue has been ripped out, you recognize the face. It's almost like something you've seen in a dream. Looks like one of the men you may have traveled with years and years ago. Freshly dead.
Well, Marius, looks like we're going to be in for some more time traveling.
Probably right, my friend.
This man looks familiar, just like all the other times we go through these tunnels. Seems like every time we go through, there's people in here I recognize.
You know this.
Surely, I mean,
He's from
they're
Silver.
clearly Reichslanders, but how could you know these men? I mean, I promise you we did not come to this tunnel before. This is a different tunnel.
We've done this before. I don't know who he is, but something about him. It's like I know him from my past. Anyways, well, if you have any gear you find useful, take it. Otherwise, we've got more walking to do.
I doubt they do, but I will take a quick glance around.
Most of what you see is, and even if you were to pilfer a few of the remaining pockets of some of these former men, you will not find much. Anything that's usable, at least. You do find some rations, but they're covered in blood and probably no longer edible.
No. Bragadine will not soil his hands to pilfer through their pockets.
Okay, all right. From what you see just laying about, you do see a few weapons that might be usable. Maybe a few swords, a couple shields. There is a spear that looks usable. There's also a single crossbow that looks usable. That's about it. There is some armor, if you would like to try to rip it off of the dead bodies. Most of it is beyond repair, shredded through and through. There is a few arm guards that look like they're in decent shape. And there's a couple helmets that look like they're okay.
Bragadine would like to see if there's a helmet that's not covered in gore on the inside and might fit him.
They're
And if there
all
are an arm guard.
covered in gore. There is one that looks usable. There's a few that look usable, but they are all covered in blood.
Plate arm guards?
Plate, yes.
Marius will strap those on.
Okay. You rip them off of a nearby corpse. As a matter of fact, it's strange because you can't tell who they belong to because they're attached to two arms that are nowhere near any bodies. But you pick them up and kind of pry them off and then put them on yourself. They're
Is that 2 AP?
Yes, 2 armor as you strap them to your arms.
Bragadine will grab the cleanest looking helmet and try to find some scraps of their cloaks or whatever that may not be covered in filth and try to wipe the worst of their brains and flesh off.
They have nothing that is not covered in viscera or blood. You would have to use something of your own to clean
I
it
will
with.
use the edge of my cloak.
Okay. To do your best to clean what you can. 2 armor points to your head as you place the helmet across your head. I will let you know, because plate helmets have this thing where they either block everything or they don't block anything because they have gaps. So it does not cover your face. It just kind of goes about the top of your head, kind of like conquistador looking.
That's what I was hoping. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seamus will check the guy's pockets in case he has any like papers on him. Otherwise, he doesn't want anything.
Yeah, if you kind of look over, you would see that most of these people don't have much. You don't find any coin, strangely enough. All the food's ruined. You do find some what looks like possibly was a letter. One of these men apparently could write, which is saying something. But there's so much blood saturating the paper that it is illegible.
I don't know how much like Imperial armor would change, but can I tell like how old this armor might be? Like, would it be like 10 years old armor?
You could tell. It hasn't changed significantly enough, but you can tell from the some of the pieces of clothing and some of the insignia and whatnot that this looks like something that would have been worn back when you were drafted for the Great War, when Emperor Magnus led the Empire to drive out chaos and drive them back into the wastes.
All right.
Bragadine's going to check for one last thing. And he's going to see if there are any bottles of alcohol, ale, wine.
You definitely don't find any of that.
Okay. You never know when you might need it, gentlemen.
Well, Seamus is going to start walking away.
Okay. You begin moving away. Begin moving further down the tunnel. It's at this point that you do start to see offshoot tunnels, small ones, similar to what you've seen before. Maybe only 10, 15 feet wide, some of them 20, 30 feet wide. Also just going off at random intervals on your right and left. I need everyone to give me one more perception test as we are moving forward.
Oh, I think I failed. Yep, 61 out of 56.
Okay. Do you want to re-roll? Or you want to make it a success? You do have those fortune points after all.
No, I'm going to hold on to this
Okay.
for a moment.
How about Marius?
Marius rolled a 9 out of
Very good.
61.
And Bragdine.
Rolled a 24 out of 74.
Okay, you guys both really high. Perhaps it is just the monotony of walking, because time is passing. Hours are passing. As you're moving forward. Seamus, you just kind of go into kind of that daze where you're just walking and you're just methodically walking. You just kind of begin to tune everything out. Marius and Bragdine, as you are walking forward, Marius still holding his torch. Down some of the offshoot hallways, you begin to hear strange noises. Specifically, you hear cries of you don't know what at first. They're almost like whispers. And then they begin to get louder at certain tunnels. And then at a particular tunnel on your right, this one is only 10 feet wide. You see, and likewise, these tunnels, they don't have a roof. It goes straight up, just like the rest of the main tunnel that you're in. You see that there is light coming down or flashing down this tunnel, as if there is something happening down that way. And the two of you in particular hear a cry of a person. Someone cry out loudly. It begins to echo down the tunnel. Seamus is apparently oblivious. He's just not paying attention anymore. He's just walking methodically.
Seamus, stop! Mary, did you hear that? I'm pointing with my sword. There's a cry, a human, a yell. Very distinct.
I heard it as well. There's not much we can do. We have to go forward. Begins.
You don't think we should investigate?
I mean, we're going to, because we're going that way.
No, it's off on the side.
Yeah.
Oh, it's off on the side. I thought it was forward ahead.
No.
Okay.
It's one of the side, the offshoot tunnels.
Can I ask this? Was it a cry of pain?
I will say this. It would be hard to tell.
Bragging couldn't even tell if it's a sensual cry.
I will say it would be hard to tell. That's all I can say.
No, Seamus, it was of such volume. It must be close. Perhaps we should go and take a look.
Stay on the path, Marius.
Yeah, Marius is... I don't trust this place, Brady. Full of tricks.
No, all right, Marius. Please, lead the way.
Stay on the path.
And the three of you turn away as you hear more cries. They begin to dim.
Too bad for those people.
As you walk away, begin moving further, deeper down this tunnel. Some more time passes, and you try to shake the noises out of your mind. And then, Marius, since you're somewhat leading, you see up ahead a glow. It's illuminating this tunnel, and the tunnel appears now that you didn't notice before, but it is narrowing. The tunnel is only 50 feet wide at this point. It's been very subtly narrowing, almost imperceptibly. And you see up ahead that there's a glow as if there is a fire blazing up ahead. And you see shadows moving about, casting long darkness to and fro.
Bragadine would like to stop and really try to study the shadows for a moment to see if there's anything unusual about them, like if they have horns or if there's a tail or anything like
all
that.
right.
Just,
go ahead and give me a... we'll just call this perception.
Okay. We got 40 out of 74.
Okay. Marius, are you still holding the torch aloft?
I probably kind of lower it if I see people up ahead. Maybe
you do see shapes, for sure.
Yeah.
And this is about 100 feet ahead. More than 100 feet. Probably 200 or 300 feet. It's such a long hallway. But there's this blazing, and now that if you are slowly approaching, you do see that there's a huge fire burning. The flames appear to be at least 15 feet high. A massive pyre. Bragadine, the shadows are dancing across the wall. Even from this distance, you can tell that from the movements that they appear to be... There appears to be in revelry. They look human shape, but it's a shadow. The DC was very high for this. But you don't see anything bizarre. You can tell there are multiple creatures up ahead. Now, if you guys are approaching, are you doing so stealthily, or are we just kind of walking up?
Bragadine will kind of lean into both Seamus and Marius. And I think it's just people dancing, but I don't I can't tell from the sounds, but I don't know if we should walk in boldly.
Oh, I should also mention that there is a drum rapidly beating up ahead. Several drums, in fact.
Is the corridor still narrowing as we speak, as we still move on?
No, it is. It apparently has hit that 50-foot kind of width, and it is steady for as far as you can tell, Marius. As this place is strange, and you know strange things happen.
Yeah.
But for now,
Yeah. I assume we will try to stealth up, lads, and when we make too much noise, we'll let Seamus do his thing.
go ahead and everyone roll me stealth checks.
We'll see.
Boy.
We'll see how it goes.
Oh man, this is not Bragadine's forte.
It's not my first.
Come on, I need that
Not
one
good.
now.
Oh, shit.
That's a fail, but it's a decent fail, so I don't want to use a fortune point.
Okay. And Marius?
Marius rolled a 35 out of 47.
Okay, that's actually not bad. And Seamus?
I re-rolled and I still failed. But the lower roll was a 71 out of 42.
Yeah, pretty bad. Got it.
Mine was 61 out of 31.
Okay. All right. Both pretty bad. Marius, however, okay. Marius, you snuff out the
I
torch.
took advantage for being underground too.
That's true. Yes, you do. So you begin moving forward. Marius, I'm assuming you're somewhat in the lead as you are moving forward. You guys begin to close the distance to whatever is happening up ahead, and you notice that there are almost like stretched hides on some kind of like wood stakes or made out of something that is obscuring your view around this massive pyre. You do see that there are men dancing and gyrating around this fire.
Do they have clothes on?
They are clothed, though they are clothed in strange garb. Marius, and all of you would be somewhat familiar with the vile Northmen, the Norskins, that wear hides and just very rudimentary, barbaric almost styles of dress. And these men apparently are in the same style. They have darker skin than Northmen that you've seen before, all of you. Most of the Norskins have almost a pale white skin. These guys have a more darker, almost reddish hue to their skin. They're also heavily tattooed about their furs and everything kind of dangling about them. You count at least 4 or 5 dancing around this pyre. You do see another 2 playing drums in this kind of makeshift encampment. There are bizarre totems that have been erected around, and it looks like there in several places are guts and viscera that have been stitched into a way that they resemble a foul symbol that all of you recognize as the thing that burned in the heads of the creatures that assailed you at Mother Inga's hovel. It's hard to look at, even when you see it. It almost makes you want to divert your gaze from it. There is a bizarre scent wafting from the flames. Bragadine, it is the same scent you smelled earlier, just 1,000 times stronger. It is almost intoxicating. And I need everyone, before we even do the outcome of the stealth, I need everyone to give me endurance checks at -20.
Oh no. All right,
I
let's
don't
see.
want to. I know what these guys are. I want to pass this.
41 out of 47.
Okay, good. Marius?
17 out of 45.
Good. And Bragadine?
27 out of 70.
All of you managed
No,
to...
27 out of 62.
Okay, yeah,
Sorry.
you're still fine. All of you managed to kind of keep your senses about you as there's a haze wafting out of these flames. It smells sickly sweet. And for a moment, you guys get a little lightheaded, but you manage to stay the course. Marius, as you are approaching, you approach between one of the sets of these stretched skins, and as you get close, you notice that these are human skins. Stretched, taut, like that of an animal slain. You see a face, eyeless, just inches from you to your right. As you peek between the skin, you see the ceremony or dance or revelry, whatever this is, this foul, chaotic thing happening. You see the Norscan men dancing. You see several of these men using drums that are stretched manhide with large bones and skulls used as mallets, smacking away in a very rapid drumming. You also see, Marius, on the other side of the fire, off to your right. You see 3 bound figures tied to what looks like a bone totem of some kind. There are skulls at the top of it. It looks to be about 7 or 8 feet high. They are women, all of them, bound with their arms behind their backs, and they are tethered to this pillar. What's more concerning, Marius, is that you recognize the attire on their person. They're all wearing the habits of a sister of Shalia.
Can Bragadine see this?
You don't see this yet. Marius is the first one to kind of peek through. Marius, you also see to your left, and this is pretty close by, you see 6 men of the Empire that are kind of laying in it almost looks like a makeshift cage that's been made out of like stretched, who knows what. Honestly, it's disgusting. Whatever it is, it looks like it's made out of like body parts. And all of the men inside appear to be soldiers, Imperial soldiers, except their armor has been stripped from them, and most of their clothes has been stripped from them. They all appear to be alive and moving, but they're all bloodied, and they don't look like they're in a good state. It's at this moment, Marius, that you see a large Norscan man who's drinking heavily from a massive barrel. Splashes the barrel down. Some of the ale spills across the floor and pools at your feet, Marius, as he is moving towards the sisters, and he begins to sniff at them, and you see his mouth open up, and all of his teeth are filed to points. And the sisters all have their eyes closed tight, and most of them are chanting, but they are trying to block out what is happening. The man turns his head from them after a bark of a much larger Norscan on the other side, who has almost blackened plate armor about his shoulders and his head. And the large man moves from the sisters and moves over to the men in the cage nearby, opens it, and reaches in and grabs a hold of one of the struggling soldiers and pulls him out. He is kicking and screaming, and he is moving in your direction, holding this man by his throat as he is unbuckling the belt holding up his trousers.
Oh, jeez.
I knew it.
If
It's at this moment. It's at this moment that Seamus and Bragadine are moving behind you, and they don't see the spilled ale on the floor, and the two of them slip. They don't fall, but they slip. Their armor jangling, and the man looks up and looks right at you in the eye, Marius, and smiles. And I need everyone to roll me initiative.
Oh, all right. Oh yeah, I don't know that.
5.
Ooh, not great. Marius.
Wait.
Mary's rolled a 9.
9. And Bragadine.
15.
Okay. Bragadine. You are the first to recover yourself. You recover your footing. You see the scene laid out before you. You would be a few feet to your right, and yes, you would probably be in open shock. What would you like to do?
Quick, I need to kind of figure out where everybody is. Guy in the plate armor, or is he fully plate, or is it just like his chest and his head?
It's just like, it's kind of like about his shoulders. He has essentially greaves on and a helmet. It's not interlocking plate armor, but it is...
In front of me, right or left?
He is going to be on the other side of the pyre. That's going to be at least 70 to 80 feet away.
Where are the drummers?
The drummers are to your left, past the cages. That's going to be about 40 to 50 feet to your left. The sisters are straight ahead and to the right, and they are also going to be about 60 to 70 feet away. There are several men in between you and them. You're looking at least 6 men that were gyrating around this fire that are now beginning to turn around. There is the man holding the struggling soldier by the throat, just a few paces from Marius Wolf. And then you have the large man. Oh no, that's everyone. So you have a total of 10 men present.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I want to shoot the large man with my fast shot.
Okay, the one that is in front of Marius?
The biggest one in the room.
Okay.
Yeah.
The biggest one in the room would be, okay, from your angle, from where you're at behind Marius and somewhat Bragadine's over to your right. I would give you the shot towards the makeshift almost captain here, but it'll be at a -20 if you want to take that shot. Anyone else will be a normal shot.
Yeah, I'll take that shot.
Okay, go ahead and give me a roll then.
Can I?
It's a 23, and I'm not using the scope, so it's a 23 out of 67 with a -20.
Oh, Jesus. How much damage is that?
Let's see. It's 14 plus the second die was a 3, so 17.
17 wounds. As you boom, and I'm assuming this is with the Thunderer. It rings out, and you hit the leader in his right pauldron. It pierces through, and he screams out. But it's strange because the scream is not quite a scream. It's almost a grunt of ecstasy. As he, and then places a hand to the blood spilling out from his right shoulder. He looks wounded, but he also looks like he enjoys it. And he looks across the fire and locks eyes with the smoking barrel, Seamus. And that is your action. So now, Bragadine, it is your official turn.
And with that shot, Bragadine takes off like a shot and charges the man holding the sweet sister.
Okay. There's currently no one... There's no one even guarding the sisters. Does that make sense? But you have several Norskins in between you and them. They are
a Norskin holding a sister.
No. He is. That was the one in front of.
Holding the man. No,
he's holding the man.
I misspoke. Yeah, charge him.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Go ahead and give me your attack roll. He is very much caught off guard by this.
Oh yes. I got rolled at 33.
Okay. How much damage is it first?
Hold on, let me see here. Okay, 25, 55, 62, plus, so 62, so that would be 3 levels, 8, 4, 12.
12 wounds. Okay. In that case, roll me a D100.
$73.
73 is the body. Good. Roll me one more.
29.
Let's see here. Okay. You slice into this man, and as you see that he's actually in the process of letting the man go and reaching for an axe on his back. And as he's opened himself up, and you charge through Bragadine, through one of these skins, slashing your way through these human pelts, and you slice across his back. As he cries out in pain, stumbles to a knee, and he tries to stand back up, and it looks like his back has been severely wounded to the point where he is going to have difficulty ever standing again, as you have nicked something vital. He is still alive, however. He is a hardy individual as he tries to begin to move to stand back up, but he can't quite do it. Would you like to do anything else?
To the man, excuse me. To the man, is he bound? Is the prisoner? Was he bound?
No, he is not
dragging
bound.
him out? You grab his axe and free your colleague. It is time to free yourselves.
Okay, you say that, Bragadine.
Whether he does, I don't know what he's going to do. But
we will. That is the end of your turn, and that actually brings us to Mary Swolf. It is your turn.
Is he still holding the man?
He has dropped him at this point. He's just kind of at his feet.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and make an attack against the kneeled man.
All right.
Kneeled barbarian. Or...
Yeah, you have a +10 to this attack due to his injury. Are you using your fist or are you using your pick?
Using the pick.
Okay.
This one.
Go ahead and make your attack.
That is a 19 out of 83.
Yeah, you easily, I'm a 19, you easily stove in his head as you just come forward and boom! And it's almost a 1-2 combo as Bragadine slices through his back. You come in and the head of the pick just drives through his head, almost taking the top half of it clean off as it smatters across the cobbles and some of it into the fire itself. And the body falls limp at your feet, Marius.
Does the prisoner, does he look really shaken up? Like,
he, as you look down at him, he's shaking, and it's hard to take stock. I will allow you, if any of you want to check on the state of being of anyone, you will have to. It will take an action to do so, but I will give you that he is shaking and is covered in blood, and he's not wearing any armor or has any weapons, but he is not bound.
okay. Who is the next closest?
One of the drummers would be close to you, to your left. They're just past the open cage that has the other 5 soldiers in it.
Okay. Then I am going to, pull my pick from this guy's skull and charge the other one.
Okay.
Marius is just real upset, especially that the sisters of Shalia here. So,
and there are 2 drummers over here as you kind of charge over. They don't have time to draw their weapons, but instead they just wield the mallets that they were using to drum with as bludgeoning implements, almost like makeshift maces. And they both stand to meet you. You don't have another attack, so you just want to get in melee with them?
Yeah, just try to cut them off from doing something else. Yeah.
Okay. It is now the the cultists of Slaanesh turn, as they are going to attack all of you. Marius, you're in contact with 2 of them, so I need you to defend yourself twice.
Okay. That is going to be a 34 out of 83.
Okay, you easily batter aside one of these makeshift kind of drumming mallets and defend yourself another time.
It's a 28 out of 93.
Also able to smash the second aside. As that happens, Bragadine, you hear cries almost of ecstasy behind you as 3 men begin to converge onto your person. You have enough time to spin around and level your shield. I need you to defend yourself 3 times.
Oh, 55 out of 82. No, out of 92.
Okay. How much damage is it first?
Let me see here. So I guess that's 3 levels of success plus 4, 7, 11.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll me D100.
Three.
Very good. Now roll me 1 more. You want to roll high on this.
Does a 93 be high enough?
Yes. Okay. The first man that comes charging at you, and these are some of the dancers, comes wailing at you. It looks like he has a almost like a whip kind of in his hand. Doesn't look like it would do much damage, but more just inflict pain. And as he comes charging towards you, you lance the sword upwards, cleaving into his face and removing his eye from his socket as he stumbles back, openly bleeding profusely from a grievous head wound. Your next defense, please.
55 again. I'm rolling like Marius. Let me see. So with momentum, let me see, 62.
It's 12. Roll me another D100.
5.
Okay, roll me 1 more.
76.
All right. The second man runs up, and he tries to take you on your shield side. As you slice through one of the cultist's eyes, the large Norskin, which they're not actually Norskins, these are Kurgans, though none of you would know what that is, charges to your left, and you actually bring your shield up and smack him across the side of his head as he stumbles backwards with a concussive blow as his ears are left ringing and he is dazed next to you. Defend yourself one last time.
$64 out of 92 out of 112 with the shield.
Okay. So 64 out of 112?
Yeah, so it's 5 levels of success.
5 levels of success. All right. Bragadine, you do manage to block the third and final blow as a man with a two-handed axe comes for an overhead swing, and you manage to scrape it off of the shield. And that is that. I have all that written down. Okay. The 3 more men begin to push past. One more attaches himself to Marius Wolf, so defend yourself one more time, Marius.
Alright. Oh, shit. Guess that's good. I rolled a 99 out of 130. Okay.
Okay. How much damage is it? From you, this is probably going to kill him.
It would be 9 levels of success plus. Let's see. That's 21 damage.
Yes. 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 He's instantly vaporized as you drive the pick through him. Hold on one second, guys. I've got to deal with a small child. So yeah, you instantly kill the Kurgan charging you, with just a backhand swing, and then quickly place your guard against the 2 other men attacking you. Seamus, these two other men go somewhat around Bragadine, and they are charging towards you. They can't quite make it to you because you're so far from them, but they're within 10 feet of you. They are outside the ring of skins, which you are just a few feet away from. So, and none of you can see what's happening with the leader of this Kurgan horde, but something's happening over there. And Seamus, it is now your turn. Now you've already used your action to shoot, so
yep.
What else would you like to do?
I mean, if possible, I would just, since they're going to be closing in on me, I'm eventually going to pull out the sword since it's going to be close range.
Yeah, easily done. You sling the rifle over your shoulder, and then manage to draw your blade with the sheen as the 2 begin to close in on you. And that will be the end of the round. So at the top of the round, that brings us to Bragadine. It is your turn.
All right, so I still have 3. One's pretty heavily wounded.
You have 2 men that are wounded fairly badly. One of them is openly bleeding. Doesn't look good. The other one is stunned. He's almost defenseless next to you, kind of racked, as you essentially gave him a concussion. The third, however, is very much limber and circling. His filed teeth chattering back and forth.
I'm going to attack him.
The one that's uninjured.
He's the greatest threat, isn't he?
I mean, they're all threats. There is one that's relatively defenseless right now, standing next to you.
All right, I'll attack him.
Okay. You get a +20 to this roll, which is why I was going to suggest it. So go ahead and make your attack roll, and chances are you're going to kill him now, as he can barely defend himself.
I roll a 38 out of 112.
Yeah, you easily cleave into this man, dispatching him as you just slice your blade with a 38. That is a... you actually take his right arm off as you slice down, and the arm comes off at the elbow. There's a smattering of blood across you and the other two people in your vicinity, and they almost lap at it like a dog at water, just as it kind of sprays across arterially. What else would you like to do, Bragadine?
I swear at them, an oath in Bretonian. We have your foul cults back in my homeland, and we eradicate them there as well. And I ready myself to defend myself.
Okay. And you place your shield back. And that is going to bring us to Marius Wolf. It is your turn. You still have the two drummers engaged with you.
Okay. I will attack one. Whichever one's closest, I guess. That's going to be a 65 out of 110.
Okay. Yep. That easily does it. And I'm going to just tell you right now, it does enough damage to instantly kill him. Okay. So you just overhead swing, and he goes to block with the two sticks that they were using to beat the drums, and the pick just breaks through both of them, and you just impale him in the chest as he you pull it free, and he stumbles backwards over one of the man-skinned drums and is quiet. There's still another one attacking you. Would you like to do anything else?
No, after I just kind of shoved this one off, after I overhanded swinged, I'll just be staring at him.
Okay, and he looks...
Next attack.
Most people would be highly intimidated after what just happened, but you almost see an eagerness in this man's eyes. It is unsettling, to say the least. And that's going to bring us to the Kurgans. The cultists are now going to attack all of you. First, we'll start with Marius. Go ahead and defend yourself.
All right. Ooh, that's a 30 out of...
A 30 what?
120. Just 30.
Okay.
Out of 120.
Isn't that a critical from you?
It is. With the pick, it is.
I also got a critical hit.
Oh. But
it was a 44. So it goes to you, Marius. Right. So it's not critical death blow, but you do bat this attack away.
Okay, just defend it. Okay.
Yeah, you defend against it as it comes in. It looks like it's a lethal blow as he lances forward, and you just stave him off with a few swings back and forth. The smaller man than you, the heavily tattooed, the sweat glistening across his tattooed flesh as his arms kind of go out wide, and he keeps his distance from you. Bragadine. Let me roll for this guy real quick, because he's bleeding profusely. The man bleeding in front of you, Bragadine, the blood is spilling out of his eye socket openly. And he lunges like he's going to attack you, and he just kind of slumps forward, falling onto your shield. I need you to give me a dodge roll.
I can add momentum to dodge, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. We got, let's see. $88. I got 35 out of 88.
Okay. You catch him on your shield, and then you shift your body so that his massive bulk slides off and hits the ground next to you, instead of somewhat pinning you in place for the man that's about to try to stab you. So now go ahead and defend yourself again, Bragadine.
We got, let's see. I got 6 levels of success.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I was assuming that my shield was taken, so I couldn't use my shield.
No, you can.
Oh, 8 levels of success.
Yeah. The dodge was to see if he held on to you, but he didn't, obviously, as he died. So you managed to slip away from him and then block an incoming strike from this man's two-handed axe. The blade smashes against your shield and bounces off, strangely enough, despite this man's strength and bulk. And Seamus, these two Kurgan cultists are going to surge forward and try to murder you now.
Kurgan.
It is the Kurgan. You do have a fast weapon.
Yes.
Would you like to lash out first, or are you saving for when your turn comes around?
I will lash out first, just in case I can kill one.
Okay. Go ahead and make me an attack roll as they close the distance.
Oh, shit. It's a 17 out of 70.
Okay, it does.
80.
Yeah, it definitely hits. How much damage is that?
That is, my sword now does 9. 15.
15 wounds. Oof, man, close. You cut deeply into one of these Kurgan cultists. You take his left arm as he's coming in with almost dual-wielding 2 daggers. And it slices into him, and he kind of stumbles away for a moment. He's bleeding heavily from the wound. He's not dead. The other man is going to try to attack you now, so I need you to defend yourself.
Ooh, 13 out of 70.
Yeah,
I have 90 now.
I critically failed on his attack roll. So not only does he miss, but perhaps it was the wounding of his compatriot, but he stumbles. And he's going to miss his next action. He just loses his next action as he kind of stumbles out of place. The one you wounded is now going to try to stab you, though. So go ahead and roll defense again.
Ooh, that is a 24 out of 90.
That is more than enough. Just barely, I might add. As you easily you parry aside a small, almost like stiletto-looking blade. Appears to be made out of bone, as you kind of parry a blade away that was going for your kidney. And that is that. It is now your official turn, Seamus, if you'd like to do anything.
No. Nope. That'll be it.
Okay. That brings us to the top of the 3rd round with Bragadine Beno. You still have 1 man attached to you.
We're gonna end that right now.
Go ahead and end it.
All right. 5, 95. I'm doing this wrong. 35 under 112.
Okay. Go ahead and... how much damage is that?
Let me see. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 9, 14, 18 wounds.
18? Hold on, let me make sure. How would you like to kill this man, Bragadine, in a single hit?
Nice, bro.
Just a tight, wide swing from right below his rib cage, from one side to the other deep, or just cut his belly open, and his lacerated intestines just plop out onto the floor, onto the ground.
Yes, and they very much do. And he's almost with a squeal of ecstasy as you disembowel him, and he falls amidst his compatriots, kind of still somewhat writhing on the floor as you step away from him. Would you like to do anything else, Bragadine?
All right, so am I still engaged with anybody?
No, you are. There are no more people directly engaged with you that you can see. From this direction on, you have to remember there's a giant fire in front of you.
Right. Mm-hmm. Where is the cage with the soldiers at?
To your left. It's to your left. If you glance over to your left, you see the 5 soldiers in the cage, and then you have the one soldier that is still laying where he was dropped. He's curled up in the fetal position and not moving. The other soldiers are likewise just kind of covering themselves and just kind of shaking inside their cage, not moving, despite the door being open.
Okay, so we've already dropped 3, 4, 5. Now I've already done my action. Can my free action be to kind of check on this guy? I don't have a heal. I don't know if I'm the best guy to do this, actually.
Are you, do you want to, try to reach down and kind of pick him up?
Yes.
Okay. You reach down, and as your hands touch his shoulder, he kind of shakes a little bit.
No, my friend. We are here as friends.
And yeah, you do manage to kind of get your arm underneath his, and he's kind of shaking as you kind of attempt to stand him up. That'll be the end of your turn, if that's the case. And that will bring us to Marius Wolf. You have one man still engaged with you.
All right, I'll try to attack him.
Okay, go ahead and kill him, please.
We'll see. 81 out of 130.
Yep, that'll do it. How would you like to kill this man?
Just parry his mallet, and then with a reverse stroke, the blunt end of the crack along his face, cracking his skull open, and then I am immediately going to step over him and look to see if I can see any other combatants, and also kind of focusing on where sisters were.
Yeah. So here's what you see as he falls limp to the wayside, stumbling into knocking over one of the large man-skinned kind of pieces. Or stretched hides. As he knocks it over, you see that Seamus is being assaulted by 2 of these Kurgans, 2 of these cultists. As you glance around, you don't see the large individual that Seamus shot. But you do see the sister still bound and tied on the other side of the pyre. Now, you couldn't quite make it to them in one round. It would take 2. But there doesn't appear to be any threat to their well-being currently.
Question. If I move... sorry, this is going to make you do some math. If I take my movement and move as far as I could towards the sisters, how far would that place me away from Seamus and his combatants?
So Seamus, if we say Seamus is, let's say... We'll say 20 feet. So it'll put you at probably 70, 80 feet from Seamus if you were to make your full move away from him.
Okay.
Well, actually, it'd be 60 feet. 60 feet. Sorry.
60 feet. Okay. Then I will do that. Then I'm going to keep an eye on Seamus, and I'm going to run over toward the women.
All right.
With the rest of my movement.
Do you pass, so the pyre's in the center, do you pass by the side that Bragadine is, or do you pass on the opposite side where you last saw the cultist leader?
Whichever one would be within eyesight of
Seamus?
Seamus.
Okay,
Yeah.
then that would be the side that Bragadine's on. As you kind of move past him, past the man that he's kind of starting to help up, and move around to the side, you're within 20 feet of the sisters.
Okay, and I still see the big man. Yeah.
No, you don't see him.
Okay.
That brings us to the Kurgan's turns. Seamus, would you like to try to attack again before they make their attacks?
Yes, I would.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll. I'm assuming you're attacking the wounded one.
Yes. That's an 81 out of 100.
Yeah, I also crit failed again.
Oh, yeah.
So, with an 81, this guy's already severely wounded. Let's see here. Yeah, you actually tear through his left leg. After scraping through his arm, and you almost kneecap him. It doesn't quite remove the limb, but it cuts deeply. And he stumbles forward. You do feel that pulse. You did also before, but you are not currently wounded, so it does not heal any of your injuries. But you still feel that cold pull of their soul being sucked into your blade. And he falls dead at your feet. Would you like to do anything else? Or no, you can't do anything else. Now, not yet. No. It is their turn now. So I need you to defend yourself only one time.
47 out of 104.
Yeah, you easily bat aside his very telling attack as he kind of swings out with his little stiletto that he's got, and you bat it away. That brings us to the top of the round with Bragadine. It is your official turn.
All right. I've got this guy up. Whether he's going to do anything right now, but is he on his feet?
You kind of stand him up, and yes, he's on his feet now. He's shaking.
Okay.
And if you're looking at him, there is almost a vacant expression in his eyes.
Oh, I'm suspicious of that. Where would be the next... Actually... Where would be the next closest opponent?
You would see Seamus still fighting with a Kurgan. You don't see anyone else standing outside of Marius and yourself.
Okay, Seamus can handle that. I've seen him. I know Seamus. I'm not worried about him. I am going to. The cage with the men is how far from me?
Just about 20 feet, not far.
Okay. I'm going to move over there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to do something a little odd, either make an intuition check or a perception check, and see if I can get a good idea whether these guys are going to be able to help or not.
Okay.
Because I already picked up one guy. And this
will be your action. Yeah, go ahead and give me an intuition check.
Yeah, I don't want this guy. I don't want a bunch of. All right. I don't get to use my momentum on this, do I?
No. These don't have momentum on them.
All right. I'm going to use a fortune point. That was a 99. So
okay.
Fortune point. Yeah. Just going to mark that down. First fortune gone. Do that. Oh, that's much better. I got a 15 out of, was that 74? Yeah, 15 out of 74.
Okay.
So,
like
4 levels of success.
Yeah.
5 levels of success.
Yeah, so what you get with that, you're kind of looking this man over, and you look over at the men in the cages. Being from Bretonia, you're used to seeing the hollowed out shell of a man that has been submitted to subhuman standards, treated like wild animals. You've seen the look in several peasants in the past. And you can tell that these men are broken. Their resolve is shattered, and they have become less than men at this point. They are barely alive, and they would not be good in a fight as they stand.
All right, I will kind of ignore them, take a step back from the cage, just in case they somehow fall underneath the a spell and try and grab me. And I know it's not an action because I can't do a perception check, but just kind of ready myself for wherever the next opponent would be, kind of looking around.
Okay. You kind of begin to glance around, and it is now the Kurgan's turns. Oh wait, there shouldn't be any left. Except there is.
I think I have one left.
You do have one left. So technically there is that one. But there's also, as Marius feels an axe embed itself in his back. As he, and he stumbles forward. You take 15 wounds, Marius. And there is a hand axe sticking out of your back. Bragadine, I need you to make a dodge roll, please.
Let's see here. 28, 38, 40, 58. You got 44 under 78.
Critical success.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You almost instinctively duck down as an axe passes over your head. With a critical success, I will allow you this. I will allow you to shift your opponent in any direction you'd like, or I will allow you to set yourself up with essentially a bonus to hit on your next turn. You choose.
The opponent's behind me?
He is currently behind you, yes.
So I am going to shift him in front of me.
Okay, you kind of do this as you duck underneath the axe passing overhead, and you shift him in front of you, putting him between you and Marius at this point.
Oh, yeah.
With his back up against the large pyre. And you see the large Kurgan with the plate kind of on his shoulders, and the greaves, and a horned helmet, standing before you, holding a single axe in his hand, still bleeding from his shoulder, but smiling nonetheless. And he spats out something in this foul worded speech that is harsh on your ears, but you don't understand it. Marius, you're still in pain. There is an axe sticking out of you, and the Kurgan's going to try to kill Seamus now. So, Seamus, do you want to try to stab him first?
I will let it go first.
Okay. Go ahead and defend yourself.
It's a 21 out of 120.
Yep. How much damage is that, Seamus?
Oh, it's defending.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I crit failed on my. I rolled a 100. Yeah, the worst you can possibly.
You just die.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening right now. Oh my god. Not only so, what happens, Seamus, is he lunges forward, and as he does, you pivot and you slap his wrist with the flat of your blade, and as you do, it drives his arm inward, and he actually stabs himself in the gut with his own weapon. As he, you can now make your attack roll, Seamus.
He's still standing.
He's still standing. Yes, he looks hurt though.
Oh shit! I got an 88 out of 130.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that you after he stabs himself, and he also had a stun condition at this point, so you had a +10 on top of this. You just
cool, bro.
Yeah, you take a step back and you just slice the head clean off. It just and he stumbles forward, dead. You still have your movement, Seamus, if you'd like. You do see a massive Kurgan trying to kill Bragadine. That you could get to if you'd like.
I will not do so because I'm going to Rite of the Thunderer for a reload.
Okay, you pick your Thunderer up, and on your next turn, you can try to reload it. That brings us to the top of the round with Marius Wolf. Oh, excuse me, Bragadine. It is your turn.
All right, so I've got this big brute.
Yes, he's large and in charge, and he wants to kill you.
Well, I would like to kill him. So
go ahead and make me an attack roll.
66. Oh my god. It's the greatest night ever.
It had to happen finally, Bragadine. I also rolled a critical hit.
Oh no, you rolled a better crit, didn't you?
How many levels of success is it for you, though?
All right, let me see. 62 plus 6, so 112. So that would be 5 levels?
Okay. So you do hit. It's just not a critical hit from him. All right. So you do penetrate, and it looks like with a 66, it's actually a body shot, where he doesn't happen to have any armor. As you slice across his gut. Yeah, 14 wounds. See, and you open up a deep gouge into his flesh as he kind of takes a few steps back. Still smiling at you. You cut through several of the foul-looking tattoos. He's still standing. Would you like to do anything else?
I'm going to pull back, not disengage, but pull back and get my shield up and get my sword ready to defend.
Okay. And as you do so,
opponent of the night.
It is Marius Wolf's turn.
So he's in between.
He's in between you
myself
and Bragadine. Yes, he's kind of positioned him that way appropriately. There's an axe sticking out of your back. Just so you know. Just letting you know.
I want to. How far from me? How many?
We'll say from you to him, probably 30, 40 feet.
I'm going to turn around. I'm going to run. Charge him. And I'm going to try to push him into the fire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Okay. Grappling or unarmed?
Yeah, unarmed.
Or
unarmed.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me an unarmed.
Okay. Oh shit! I rolled a 33.
God damn it! God damn it! Well, I can tell you how this is going to go down. As you run towards him, do you want to use your pick to push him, or you just want to just toss his ass in?
Having my pick. I figured I had my pick and just kind of
shove him in with it.
Clock him. Yeah, shove him in there. Yeah.
You run in as Bragadine slices into him, and you boom. And as you hit him, despite him being like a foot taller than you, you lift him, and this man probably weighs 300-400 pounds. He doesn't look like he's made of natural human being anymore. And you hit him with such force, his feet leave the ground, and he's launched several feet up into the air into the massive pyre. And as he hits into it, you hear wood splintering and exploding. A fire spills out across the backside of this whatever kind of encampment or whatever this is that was set up here. I'm lighting several of the tanned hides aflame, and the man is rolling around within the pyre, screaming out, very much in pain, no longer in ecstasy, as he is burned alive. And that is where we're going to take our first break.